Hey there people, it's your favorite WeedleTwineedle bringing you all another Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle video. I know it has been a minute since I've uploaded a video, apologies. But real talk, I do kind of feel bad for neglecting my channel, but you know, enough about that. Let's get into today's video. So as you can tell from the title and thumbnail, we are utilizing Simple Gardevoir once again. If I were to die tomorrow and I'm remembered for anything, it is Simple Beam plus Trace Gardevoir. Like, that is my thing. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm just saying if that were to happen, that's what I would be remembered for. So we're bringing it back because I haven't uploaded in a minute and I just wanted something comfortable and, you know, just fun to use to get back into the swing of things. And Simple Beam Trace Gardevoir is the perfect combination to do that. We're actually playing singles today, but the other Pokemon on my team are just random Pokemon I put on my Pokedoku puzzle because I was actually featured on Pokedoku today, December 13th. If you go on Pokedoku.com, you can see a puzzle I made and you can fill it out if you want. It's pretty easy to fill out. You just, you know, pick a Pokemon that fits both the categories, and the Pokemon I'm using on this team are the answers I used in today's puzzle. So if you're watching this video on December 13th and go to Pokedoku.com, you can actually do my puzzle. But yeah, if you want to check out Pokedoku, you know, just Pokedoku.com. It'll be in the description as well. I just wanted to shout them out because they are featuring me. So like I mentioned in the title and earlier, I am using Gardevoir with the Simple Beam Trace strategy. This is a very special Gardevoir. I caught it almost 2 years ago. I ran into this Ralts and I'm like, oh, I didn't mean to run into this Ralts. And then I see her mother in the background and I'm like, oh my god, I really just ran into a full odds shiny Gardevoir, and Gardevoir is one of my favorite Pokemon. And that's not all. I don't have like the shiny charm because I'm too lazy to complete my dex, and I didn't have a sandwich going, and the Gardevoir I caught was Adamant Nature, which was just funny. And then it had a mark as well. So this Gardevoir is just iconic, and it was the perfect Gardevoir to train for the Simple Beam Trace combination. So we are using this Gardevoir, and we're using Incineroar, another Pokemon I included in the Pokedoku puzzle, as an answer. Because Incineroar is one of, I wouldn't say like a fan favorite on the channel like Gardevoir, but he's definitely iconic. And then the next Pokemon we have is Indeedee, which is only here to really set up terrain. And I was like, I just want to use Indeedee because Psychic Terrain is nice to support the Gardevoir, increase the stored power damage, and block priority. Anyway, next Pokemon we have is Komala. Now Komala, I love Komala, but you know what? I've never used her on the channel. Like, I don't think I've used Komala a singular time. I won't say Komala is like a favorite Pokemon of mine, but I do like Komala a lot. I think it's really cute. Koalas are cute. And Komala has a really awesome signature ability. Next Pokemon we have is Necrozma. Okay, so we're using Necrozma, and this is like a different set that I wanted to use because Oomph made a tweet about like Necrozma using a specific move, and it had a very funny animation. I'm like, that's so funny. I want to use that in a video. That's why we're using the Necrozma set we're using. And then last but not least, we have Latios. I wanted to use Latias, which I included in my puzzle, but unfortunately Latias doesn't get access to Simple Beam because women aren't simple. Men are, and that's why Latios gets Simple Beam and Latias doesn't. And, you know, I've never got to use Latios with Gardevoir. I've used, like, you know, Lightning Gardevoir, I've used Golduck Gardevoir. I've never used Latios Gardevoir with Simple Beam. And my opponent today, McFly, he's packing a quite interesting Sun team. So Sun teams are usually quite threatening, and at the first glance, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a scary game. But then I looked at their team, and I'm like, Great Tusk is weak to Fairy. Raging Bolt is weak to Fairy. Walking Wake is weak to Fairy. Roaring Moon is weak to Fairy. And then Breloom is weak to Fairy. So I'm like, that is 5 Pokemon weak to Fairy. If I can get Gardevoir set up, I just like win. And I'm taking the selfie with my shiny Gardevoir. They have a pretty cool trainer card with their Torkoal. We both have the Pokemon we're using like in this battle as our trainer card picture. That's kind of iconic. They're gonna lead off with their Breloom named Luigi. I lead off with Dimentio. Wait, that's kind of iconic because Dimentio. Wait, I didn't even notice that when we were battling. But you know, Luigi's a pretty cool nickname for Breloom because, you know, Luigi's green, just like Breloom, and then like it kind of resembles a one-up mushroom. So I kind of get my opponent's reference. Pretty clever. Anyway, I'm going to switch into my Komala onto the Spore, absorb it with ease because of Comatose, but then my opponent goes for the Mach Punch, bringing me down to my Focus Sash for like, Focus Sash Komala, Weedle. No wonder why you're a doubles player. But no, this is like a Komala set that I was just like, let me just try it for fun. Yeah, I could have run Heavy Duty Boots with like Rapid Spin, but this set is more funny. I could have run Body Slam, but no, I'm Rapid Spin, Sword Stance, Knockoff Flail. I don't get to use it in this battle, okay? I'll just spill it out. It's a bad set, but I wanted to use it for fun. And yeah, anyway, the Bullet Seed, I thought they were gonna Mach Punch again, but no, my opponent clocked me. This was so greedy. I don't know why I did this. I just saw the first Mach Punch. I'm like, oh, they're just gonna do it again. Because I thought they would Bullet Seed Kamala the first time, but no. Girl, I'm so rusty when it comes to singles. I thought this shit was easy, but Luigi ended me. But now Caseytron's gonna end Luigi by tracing his Technician. And then we're gonna Draining Kiss. Mwah! Technician Draining Kiss into Luigi, knocking them out. And here I'm like, wait, this was supposed to be a simple Gardevoir team, but right now I got Technician Draining Kiss. And here my opponent's gonna bring in their Torkoal with a very, you know, nice nickname. They definitely had 420 as their trainer card number in Sword and Shield. That's all I'll say. But anyway, I'm gonna switch out my Caseytron because I was like, you know, I could try to set up Calm Minds with Technician Gardevoir, but this is a simple Gardevoir video. Let me be mature about this. Let me bring in my Komala named Alice, which is named after an Animal Crossing villager I had in New Horizons, but I haven't played that game in like years, but I didn't know it's the nickname Komala, and I didn't want to be political, so I'm like, let me just name it after the Animal Crossing villager, the koala I had in my village. But here we're gonna both Rapid Spin each other, and their Rapid Spin was like a disrespectful Rapid Spin because I didn't have any hazards on their side of the field, and they crit me. That was all a disrespectful Rapid Spin. And so here I'm like, I'll give you a reason to Rapid Spin. We both set up our Stealth Rocks because that's how you singles. And now I go for the Sword Stance because I'm like, okay, they're probably just gonna Rapid Spin again, whatever. Let me set up a Sword Stance, and I'm just stalling out Sun turns at this point, so I'm fine with this. They go for Lava Flow and they don't burn me, so I'm like, oh, thank God. And here they're gonna switch out of their Torkoal, probably expecting a Photon Geyser, and they're gonna bring in their Moon Rocks, their Roaring Moon. And I'm like, Moon Rocks? I don't really understand that name. I guess like Roaring Moon. I saw rocks and I'm like, oh, that's exactly what you're gonna get because they're gonna get hit by a Rock Blast. And the animation is so funny. It looks like Grass was just whipping the rocks at them. It's so unserious. I wanted to use it in a video when I saw the animation for it. So, can you blame me? It is a funny animation. I'm Terra Rock and everything just so I could use Rock Blast. And yes, I'm old by Steel types. I know, I don't care. I'm playing singles for fun right now. Like, I haven't played singles in over a year, basically. At least. So, I was just, let me have some fun. I'll set up, like, baby Rambats, like, every now and again. But does that really count? I guess sorta kinda. But here, Hydro Steam and the Sun with Photosynthesis, I just let myself die because there's no way I'm switching into that. So, Necrozma got to throw some rocks, both stealthy rocks and non-stealthy rocks. And here, my opponent's gonna switch out of the Walking Bong. Like, these names, girl, like, I thought Luigi was clever, right? But then they're like, oh, let me just make Weed my whole personality. I'm actually a support Latios because, you know, I do have Symbol Beam. And Latios does get access to dual screen. So here, I go for the Symbol Beam into the Great Tusk. And you can actually Symbol Beam over Photosynthesis. You actually couldn't when Scarlet and Violet first came out, but they actually changed it to where you can override the abilities with Symbol Beam, which is pretty cool. They're gonna go for the Ice Spinner on my Latios, and I was expecting them to go for it again. I'm like, okay, you can kill my Latios with the Ice Spinner. Oh, I have to put the video I'm referencing, and it's so good. They're gonna bring in their Torkoal to set this on again, and I'm gonna go for the Simple Beam. I probably could have clicked Reflect there, but I thought they might switch out. And I just want to Simple Beam over and over until they kill me, because I want to trace the Simple. That's the whole strategy with, you know, Simple Beam plus Trace Gardevoir. The opponent can play around it, but at the same time, you can just keep clicking Simple Beam. Eventually, like, it obviously has counterplay, right? But, like, if you can position the Gardevoir and get the Trace, it's so good for you. It's so good. And Latios actually gets access to Memento as well. And I was like, I could click Memento here and make this Torkoal just never allowed to do damage. But instead, I just keep clicking Simple Beam because I got burned by Lava Plume. And I'm like, oh, nice. I can just keep Simple Beaming until I die. Then I can bring in my Gardevoir. But instead they crit me, so I can actually just do this faster. So I'm like, thank you. Now I get to bring in Caseytron, and we're going to trace the Simple. And I'm like, yes. Now it is time to set up on you. And they switch out at the Torkoal here, because they understand. They're like, oh, that's what Simple Beam was for. Okay, I thought it was kind of obvious, so I just kept clicking it, expecting them to switch out. And they did once, but I don't know. People play around Simple Beam. If they haven't seen the strategy before, they play around it very strangely. But anyway, I go for the Calm Mind. With the Simple ability, it does double your stat boost effect, so we get +2 special attack and special defense. And here they're going to go for the Terastallization Water in the Sun with the special attack photosynthesis Hydro Steam on my Gardevoir. You're at +2. If you die to this, I'm releasing you. And Gardevoir eats that up at +2 special defense. I go for another Calm Mind because I'm like, okay, I'm either going to eat this up or just barely live at like right HP, or I'm going to get a crit. So like, either way, I'm going to Calm Mind. I wasn't really sure like what my mental calcs were giving, because I'm like, it could be like a Specs walking away. I don't know what it is. It's kind of giving Choice Scarf, judging by like the lack of damage. But anyway, Hydro Steam brings us to our Select Berry, and because of Symbol, we're able to get +2 in our speed stat. So now we're faster than everything on their team. We don't have Psychic Terrain anymore to block priority, which kind of sucks, but they don't have any priority left, I don't think. Besides Raging Bolt, which you can outplay. It's Thunderclap's just electric type special sucker punch, so you can like outplay that. And it's special, so I'm at +4 specialty. And oh, I have Light Screen as well. Oh my god, I forgot how broken single screens are. It could have been Specs Walking Wig, to be honest, and I just had +2 special defense and a light screen, so it just did that little. I don't really know. But I'm gonna go for the Draining Kiss again, just to get my health back, because there's no reason not to. I have 169 HP. Yes, I EV trained the Gardevoir like that on purpose to be funny. Raging Plug. Is like Raging Bolt like the plug for your weed? Like, these names are so corny. But it's kind of camp too. Like, I was like a hater like during the battle, but now like after, I don't know, it's funny. I'm sure some people are laughing at it. They're like, oh, this guy's nicknames are better than yours, Weedle. What the hell's Casey Tron? Shut up. I have some flop nicknames. I also have some clever ones too. There's also just like, some people won't understand the references in your nicknames, and that's okay. That's okay. Anyway, they're gonna go for the Thunderclap, and it does absolutely nothing. I go for the Calm Mind on their first Thunderclap. I forgot about that. Just because they disrespected me with that Rapid Spin, I had to disrespect them with the Calm Mind. That was totally unnecessary. And Reflect's gonna wear off. They're gonna bring out their Blunt Roller, their Great Tusk. Oh my gosh. And now I go for the Terastallization Steel. I make myself weaker to their ground type attack. I go for their Endure. I'm like, you disrespected me with that Rapid Spin crit. I was like in petty mode. And I thought they were gonna forfeit because this is like their last Pokemon. But single players don't forfeit. Like VGC players like forfeit like as soon as they think the game is over, which is valid. But single players, you know, they play it out. So respect to my opponent for letting me go for the Endure. I did figure that like I would at least reveal to them that I have Endure. So like the Slack Berry, I don't just pray that you knock me into Slack Berry range. I do have Endure as like a backup strat to get down to, you know, low HP. Random Rocky Helmet. Okay, I'm Great Tusk. And we're able to defeat our opponent with our simple Gardevoir. I know this battle wasn't the most competitive, but I haven't uploaded in a minute. And I thought, you know, going back to my, you know, my roots of single battling and going back to my roots of simple Gardevoir would be fun. So hopefully you all enjoyed this battle. No rental code for this team because it's singles and it's bad. I will leave the moveset details in the description as well as Pokedoku. Check out Pokedoku and do my puzzle. If you're watching this on the 13th of December, it should be up. But if not, I'll leave my puzzle here if you want to like answer like the Pokemon, you would fill it in the comments. But that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for watching until the end of the video. I do have a Discord server as well as a Twitter, which I'm much more active on those two. I'll try to get more uploads for y'all. I do feel bad for neglecting my channel, but you know, real life, mental health stuff, yada yada, excuses y'all are so sick of hearing, so I'm not even gonna bother talking about it. But I'll try to make my actions speak louder than words, you know? That's how the saying goes. But yeah, I'll check you all in my next video, which should hopefully be in the near future.